Hi, in this video I'll take a look at Schmincke's Volcano Watercolor set. I'll show you which colors are needed if you want to replicate them yourself, but first I want to draw attention to two single pigment colors in this release, including a new version of Cadmium Red PR108 that is far more textural than any other brand I've seen, as well as a rare yellow PY159 available from very few paint makers worldwide. These two colors, Volcano Red and Yellow, will be required to most accurately mix other colors from the set, as well as colors from the Desert and Shire sets. These two are the only single pigment colors in the super granulating line so far. 38 of the 40 are multi-pigment convenience mixtures, many of which can be mimicked by using existing single pigments available from a wider variety of brands. Cadmium red is one of my favorite pigments, but the color and texture varies a lot by brand. All PR108 watercolors contain the same ingredients, cadmium, sulfide, selenide, and barium, but in different ratios, heated or processed differently, providing multiple hues ranging from bright orange-leaning reds to dull brown to purple-leaning ones. Volcano red is most similar to those typically labeled as cadmium red, medium, or somewhere in the middle. It is a bit darker and more dull than cadmium red light or vermilion. The pigment powder is usually chemically treated or ground up very finely to make a very small particle size to help it flow smoothly in paint. Only recently has it become desirable to have more granulation texture in artist pigments, as this was thought of as a negative trait in the past. Now a lot of artists love the dramatic texture and color separating effects in wet washes, so I expect this demand may shape future releases. I really hope Schmincke continues to add more unusually textural single pigment options in the future, as this allows artists to really create unique effects that were difficult to achieve before. PY159 granulates, but just like the PR108, it feels a bit weak compared to the same pigment in other brands. There's a slightly gummy feel, possibly from more binder and other additives to hold moisture, assist flow, or granulation. Some pigments are always harder to re-wet than others, and some have weaker tinting strength, such as the case with PY159. And any color made with this yellow is likely going to need a pre-soak or scrubbing. As a pale, light-valued color, it's really hard to see the granulation texture in yellow on its own. To really appreciate volcano yellow, you have to see the magic that happens in mixtures. PY159 really shines when mixed with non-granulating pigments, which lets you really see where the heavy yellow pigment sinks and settles in water. The same goes for cadmium red, which is also a very heavy pigment that settles and drops out of mixtures. You can replicate volcano orange by combining volcano red and yellow together on your palette. To mix volcano brown, you'll need to mix volcano red with any brand of PBK 11. In Schmincke's line, that's Mars Black, but I like to use Roman Schmal's Aquarius Black, and if you want a more dramatic black texture, Daniel Smith's Lunar Black is a highly granulating PBK 11. To mimic Volcano Violet, you can mix Volcano Red PR108 with Cobalt Violet Hue PV62. Now, PV62 is a rare pigment, so the closest match you'll find in another brand is Ultramarine Violet PV15. My favorite ultramarine violets are from Winsor & Newton or Rembrandt, but many brands offer PV15 and it will give you a similar result to PV62. I really like the Volcano Violet, but I prefer to mix my own PR108 and PV62 separately. I really like the colors achieved by making the mixture more purple leaning by adding more PV62. Volcano Red's highly textured effect may be difficult to find uses for depending on your art style. Any of these colors could be mixed into similar colors you already own to either tone down Volcano color's texture or to increase the texture of your less granulating colors. For instance, if you have a smoother cadmium red that you like, such as the lovely options from Roman Schmal or White Knights, You could mix a touch of this Volcano Red to your other Cadmium Red, creating a desired balance between them. One of my favorite cadmium red mixtures is with phthalo blue, where the cadmium transforms this strong bright blue into a darker neutral. Since phthalo blue is a lightweight, fine particle pigment, it eagerly flows away from the cadmium, creating a pretty blue and red color separation in wet washes. This normally works well with most brands of smoother cadmium red, but Volcano Red has such a drastic texture, it refuses to mingle and instead dramatically separates out from other colors, looking as if they were painted at different times. I can see this being tons of fun for those who like to watch paint do crazy things, but I think it's going to take some time for me to figure out how to best use such a textural color. I definitely recommend checking out both Volcano Red and Yellow if you're interested in that extreme texture and creating really dramatic color separating mixtures. If you've already got a big collection of colors, you'll likely find that the other colors in this set are optional and easily DIY mixed. While I recommend cadmium reds, I do realize that there's some general hesitation out there about the use of cadmiums due to their toxicity, but mainly their hazards involve the dry powder, and they are not ideal for messy handling like applying by spraying, misting, or being used where children or pets might accidentally ingest them. Cadmiums, like cobalts, are pretty opaque, making them less appropriate for layering or glazing techniques, but you can dilute them for more transparency. While I'm on the topic of cadmium, I wanted to also mention that there are some outdated warnings out there on older pigment database sites like Handprint regarding cadmium colors blackening when mixed with copper, iron, or lead pigments. But this was mainly due to the fact that 20 years or more ago, the production of cadmium was not as clean. There used to be more free sulfur particles left over from manufacturing that could interact with other pigments, causing the color to darken. If you've ever heard of that issue or are familiar with sulfur and copper interactions, you might be worried that my favorite mixture would darken over time, since phthalo blues and greens are copper-based. Rest assured that phthalos don't have free copper particles. These atoms are protected within their molecules, so they are very stable compared to rare copper-based mineral pigments like malachite, which are prone to chemical interactions. If you decide to work with rare pigments, including malachite, azurite, or toxic historical pigments like cinnabar or lead colors, then definitely be cautious about mixing all those up. But for the most part, nearly everything offered by modern watercolor companies can be intermixed with stable results. Cadmium red is one of the most light-fast reds we have access to as artists. I've been looking for a more intensely granulating option to come along for years, so this is definitely getting a spot on my main palette. I'll be placing it next to White Knight's more affordable, smooth, and vibrant Cadmium Red Light. That way I can use them mixed together to adjust the texture or vibrancy according to the needs of any given painting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Schmincke Volcano colors, if you're a fan of Cadmium Red, and if this was your favorite from this set too. Let me know in the comments. If you'd like to see more, you can find all of my detailed swatch card images, results from my independent light-fast testing, and other art supply reviews on my website. I'm currently building a huge pigment database where thousands of colors can be compared side by side with paint from other brands. Updates about this project, along with line art drawings and high-res color scans, are also available on Patreon. Thanks for watching.